Nobody remembers the guy who thought of building an airplane, but we always remember the Wright brothers who actually went forward to building one in their bicycle store. I want us to move from just celebrating ideators to executors, because the world is a world that rewards the brave. We are in a place where those who are executors, they will be crowned. They will be the ones who remember. And I tell you the truth, any idea you see today in execution, there's every tendency that the person who executed it was not the first person who had the idea about it. Hello everyone, this is Mark Roberts and you're welcome to Unearthing. This is a podcast geared towards helping you improve your identity, impact, income and intimacy. Today we're going to be discussing a very important subject, but before we go on, if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, what are you waiting for? Please do so. I won't even get to receive a notification about that, so please help make this content reach out to as many people as possible, because that's what helps the algorithm to share this content to others. All right, let's deep dive in. So we're going to be talking about a culture of execution. I know they say ideas rule the world, and to some sense ideas actually rule the world, because the world is actually a museum of people ideas. The world is a museum of the dreams of people. Whatever you see was built by somebody and it existed in an idea form first. But I want to say this, nobody remembers the guy who thought of building an airplane, but we always remember the Wright brothers who actually went forward to building one in their bicycle store. I want us to move from just celebrating great ideas, stop to just celebrating ideators to executors, because the world is a world that rewards the brave. We're in a place where those who are executors, they will be crowned. They will be the ones who remember. And I tell you the truth, any idea you see today in execution, there's every tendency that the person who executed it was not the first person who had the idea about it. But the person who executed it was brave enough to execute, and that is why they are being celebrated as the originators of the ideas, because all things flow from God. Everything on earth, everything good and perfect comes from God. And a lot of times God wants to route these things through a person, but the person, maybe due to procrastination, delays, and he also channels it through others, because God wants to see progress. So we must get the culture of execution, and by doing so we will begin to see more results from ourselves. Let me help you with 5 things that will help you improve your rate of execution. The first thing is that you must ship before you're ready. Yes, you must actually be ready to put yourself out there before you feel like everything is ready. For example, this video recordings you're seeing me put out at this point is something that I didn't feel ready. I just had to do it. I called my friend Emmy. I said, guy, I really need to do this, because this has been, sadly for me, it has been more than 5 years I've been procrastinating this, so you can learn from this. I said, let's do it. On the day of the recording, a lot were just happening, and we just said, okay, let us go on. And I believe something has really inspired you, has really blessed you from this recordings. What I'm trying to tell you is that you must learn to put yourself out there. You must learn to just show up. Another thing you must be willing to do is to note that perfection is procrastination is this, guys. Don't wait till everything gets perfect. Just move. Do it like that. As a matter of fact, try to track your progress, because wherever you start, there's always a room for improvements. Even if you start great, there's something called greater. So you must be able to start small. You must be willing to do that thing at the medium level or the little level you find yourself doing it, and you start moving towards getting better. At the point you want to put that idea out there, you may feel you're not ready, but start. It's a good place to start. So people will see it at the base form. Of course, we all know that all the products we are using currently didn't start from the products, the current version they are. That's why there is updates. WhatsApp didn't start this way. Facebook did not start this way. I joined Facebook several years ago, and I know that everything has changed about Facebook. So you must be willing to put out the test version, the initial versions. Let there be a room for version 2.0, version 3.0, that your idea has version 10.0, but start from the 1.0. Soon this podcast will be shared across the world. Many millions of viewers will be watching it. And I would love them to see these initial stages when we were just starting in my living room and we're just trying to test things, losing things and missing out script and everything just coming together. And I'll be so excited that, okay, you see that we didn't start there. And that is how your idea can start from the little and soon it will be used and be celebrated by millions. The third thing you must learn to do is to break that big idea into small steps. Break it into milestones. Okay, let me take for instance, you want to start a food business, a food company, you want to own chain of restaurants across the world. First of all, you must learn how to manage business in the food industry. You must learn about the food industry. The first milestone will be to learn. Involve yourself into the process. Invest in learning. The second thing is to look out for your advantage. Look out for your unique selling points. Put out your product there. Break it into small steps. Set milestones. Put deadlines to it. When you do that, the next thing you must do is to have accountability. Tell people to keep you accountable for this you're about to do. Make sure you're always giving reports to these people. Make sure you have a system of checking in at, okay, I've done this, I've done that. And I mean people who actually are committed to your journey, who actually are committed to your becoming. Make sure you check accountability so that you are able to keep track of your progress. Okay, finally, learn to celebrate wins. Don't just say things like, I am working on this, I am building this. Learn to celebrate, I have done this. That's why you need to break your steps down. Learn to celebrate the parts you've done. Learn to celebrate those. When you put reward at the end of a thing, the motivation will be high for you to fulfill it. Put rewards at the end of each milestone. The more you put out those reward systems, those reward structures, the more you actually get to celebrate those little wins, the more you'll be inspired to take more steps. If you do this, you'll see that you'll move from just being an ideator to being an executor. Until next time, be the best God created you to be.